Hey guys, welcome to AI Studio where we talk about how to build AI agents that actually works. So today I'm going to walk you through the simplest guide on the internet on self-hosting n8n and MCP community nodes on your own without using any command executions or using any terminals. So first of all, head over to railway.app, railway.app. We have to sign in using the GitHub account. The reason is if you do sign it using the email, they will not let you access their premium features. Continue with GitHub, and you have to access you have to allow these permissions. Authorize railway app. So you're being redirected to the authorized application, which is railway, of course. It's going to take a couple of seconds. Here we are on railway.app. That means our account is created. Now you have to agree to the privacy and data policy. I agree with Railway's terms of service. And you also have to agree to the fair use policy. That means no crypto mining, no bots, no VNC. I will not deploy any of that. And you are good to go. So now we are on, in this section. All you have to do is you have to search n8n, and there are multiple, n8n deployments out there. Like they're like stacks. So n8n with Postgres database, and there is also n8n with PostgreSQL. The same thing. n8n with workers. So the workers one will also deploy Redis. For this particular trial, as we can see, we've got $5 with us. So and they give you an instance with 412 megabytes of RAM, which is not sufficient if you're also deploying Redis and stuff. So what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead with the n8n with Postgres database. So when you click on it, you could actually see the services that will get deployed. So they have the n8n from a different. So this is not the official Docker, if you can see, and there is also Postgres. You can always go back, and what we are going to do is we are going to use n8n with Postgres, this one. So it's going to deploy Postgres, and it's also going to deploy n8n. This is the official one. Hit deploy, and it will take a couple of seconds to deploy. Won't take much. Okay, it's coming up. Deployment is successful. There is one thing you have to do in order to enable your n8n stack to allow using MCP servers. So there is something called n8n community packages allow tool usage environment variable that you have to um, enable. Click on n8n and variables. So these are all the variables that are currently out there, in your Docker. So we have to add a new variable plus new variable. In the variable name, you have to add n8n community packages allow tool usage. So this variable I'm also going to add in the description. So you can copy from there and set true. And when you add it, it's going to redeploy your stack. So you have to hit deploy to apply the change. Applying the change. All right, I think we are good to go. And if you click on the deployments tab over here, you will see our very own deployment. So 18 seconds ago via Docker, open link in new tab. Yeah. So this is the account creation process. So you only have to do this once, and it's a one-time process. And once you're done, you'll always be going into the account. So let's create an account. Let's go with some password. I'm going to get rid of this, once I'm done. So I'm perfectly fine in sharing this password. So use a strong password. I want to receive. No, I don't want to receive right now. No. Hit next, and here it says, it's going to ask you a couple of questions. Like I'm going to skip them for now. So skip this as well. So as you can see, we are on the dashboard, the overview section. If you have a couple of automations, you're going to see it here. It's going to list it here, but since we don't have anything, there's nothing here. So there's something that you need to do before starting any automations with MCP. You have to go to settings and click on community nodes. So you have to go to this GitHub account. This is from nerding.io. You can copy and paste this. You don't even have to go to this website. All you have to do is just copy from the YouTube description. Install a community node, and we are going to hit paste. n8n nodes MCP. I understand the risk of installing, which is fine. Install. So when you click install, the npm, n8n is going to pull that npm package and install within the service. It's going to take a couple of seconds, and I think we are done. Yeah, version 0.1.13 is installed. Go back and let's start creating an automation. Start from scratch. So first of all, in order to test whether MCP is in fact enabled in your system, at first step, just search for MCP. And as you can see, MCP client is installed in the system. You have execute a tool, get a prompt template, list available tools, and everything is there pretty much. So let's try something out. Let's try to list available tools, but we do not, we have not created any credentials. So let's go ahead and create a credential for the MCP client. So for each and every MCP server, you have to create a credential. So if we go to this GitHub repository, this official MCP Servers GitHub repository, they have a bunch of official integrations, as you can see. And I'm going to search for Airbnb, which is a very popular one. Open link in new tab. And in each server, they let you how to install it as a credential. So this is a command that you have to use. First of all, go and copy npx. That's the command, but you have a bunch of arguments also listed out. So you have to do it one by one. Remember that you only have to copy the stuff between quote and unquote. Do not copy quote and unquote. Okay, -y, hit the space, go back. And by the way, you actually have to use this one because without -- ignore robot stacks, it will not work. So it's basically the same thing. This one has additional parameter with ignore robot text. Okay. npx -y, this one, hit another space, and -- ignore robots text. And if we click save, it's gonna get installed. And one more thing, let's call it Airbnb, because this is meant for Airbnb. Click save, and I think you're good. If you click on this, so there are multiple operations that you could do with MCP. You could list the tools, you could execute a tool, get the prompt and everything. So let's first of all try to list the tools. If we test this step, it's going to give us some output, and let's see what that is. Okay, in JSON, I find JSON to be more convenient in certain cases, so I usually switch between schema and JSON. Really depends on what I'm doing. But for input, usually schema is quite good because drag and drop. You can drag and drop stuff. So they mainly have two tools. If you can see, these are JSON representation. If you are familiar with JSON, you'll know. So there are mainly two tools here. One is Airbnb search. The other one is Airbnb listing details. So in the Airbnb search, you can search stuff. These are the arguments. You can input location, place, ID, and based on these stuff, it's going to search Airbnb. And you could also get single listing details based on ID, check-in, check-out, and things like that. Okay, I think we are good. So let's put this aside and let's try to create an agent. Search chat. So we are going to create a chat trigger, and plus we could actually remove this entirely. It's not required anymore. Okay. Plus search for agent, AI agent. Okay, we're good. So for memory, we could use the simple memory, which is just fine with a context window of 5. For the chat model, we can use OpenAI. You could use Anthropic or anything that you like, whatever provider works, as long as you have their keys and stuff. So let's search for OpenAI chat model. Since this is a brand new deployment, I haven't set up any credentials with me. So you actually have to create a new credential. You have to go to plus create new credential, and that's where you're going to add your API key. So I'm going to grab my API key, okay, and click save. When you click save, it's going to test whether it actually works. And if it works, yeah, connection tested successfully. And let's try this out. The way to test it is you have to open chat, and by the way, you have to actually go to AI agent and add an option, system message, your helpful assistant. That works. You can always change the system prompt as you like, and let's say hi, and if it works, it should get back to you, with an answer. And it's also going to save the your message and the AI's message on the memory. Yeah, hello, how can I assist you today? That means it's working fine. Now it's time for us to add these tools. Let's first of all add the MCP list tools. Credentials already added. I mean, if you can create new credentials, you can select anything that you like. There are so many MCP servers out there now. You could install anything you like and play around, and let me know what you are building with this. And I think I'll be posting more videos on with more MCP servers, because this in fact the easiest method to work with agents. All right, so list tools test. Okay, and let's try asking something. We could ask what tools do you have? Okay, as you can see, it's going to go into the list tools and go back to the AI agent, then again to OpenAI, and it's going to give me an answer. So previously it has mainly two tools. So Airbnb search, Airbnb listing details. Fine. So now we are going to add another tool. So we could add MCP client tool. So instead of listing tools, this time let's actually execute a tool. So here we could either do it manually for each and every tool. Like for example, you could put a fixed tool name here, like Airbnb underscore search, Airbnb underscore listing, whatever that you see under the tool names, or you could let AI do its thing. So set it to an expression, and then we are going to do dollar from AI, and let's call it tool name. You could actually name it whatever you like, because the tool name parameter, it's going to get filled by AI now. There's a description of the parameter. Tool name filled from tool name to be filled. Well, I mean, anything should work. And here as well, you could either set your tool parameters. Since this is totally dynamic, the tool parameters could also be fetched by the AI from the listing tool, and use it as it likes, based on the prompt and stuff. So we could set that to this particular button. What it's going to do is the model itself is going to define the parameters for us. Okay, very cool. Okay, so if I try something, uh, if you want, you could actually delete the current chat. Let's hit delete, and this tidy up feature is pretty cool, because when you hit on this, it's gonna like make it look pretty tidy and neat, which is nice. And you can also reset the session from the chat if you want. Let's ask a hi. Okay, hello, how can I assist you today? Could ask, can you find me an Airbnb in Vegas for 3 adults and 2 children? We have a pet with us. Okay. Doesn't have to be organized or anything. You could use it as same as you use ChatGPT or anything similar. It's asking what tools do you have? Maybe it knows. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, it seems like it knows by fetching this. So Airbnb search. Okay, it knows. Could ask now. What? You could ask the same question. Can you find me an Airbnb in Vegas? Yeah, it's now using the tool. There's something wrong with railway. When you're on trial, it actually overflows memory, especially when you're using certain uh, tools. It crashes the deployment because you have only got like 512 megabytes of RAM, which is not sufficient to run n8n, I think. Even though you don't have Redis and stuff, you can always increase the package, like upgrade the package to uh, the hobbyist. I think it's only $5 per month and gives you almost 8 GB, which is more than enough to run this. So let's try asking the same question again, and it should work. Okay, went to execute tool and going back to OpenAI chat model, and it should give us an answer. Save it time to time. All right, very very nice. I found several Airbnb options in Las Vegas that can accommodate 3 areas. Okay, these are actual listings. If you can click on this, open link in new tab, they're actual stuff. Yeah, and and says you can find more options and details through this link. So if you open up this link, it actually it has grabbed all the informations that we have asked for. For example, 3 adults, 2 children, and 1 pet, all that details, which is nice. Let's try something fun. Maybe let's ask. We actually have another adult. So optimizing the chat, optimizing the prompt is not really the objective of this video. This is all about testing the MCP deployment that we made, and also, to walk you through the simplest setup out there in the internet. Now, for more options, check this link. If you can see the previous link, it only had three adders in its search. But if you go to this link, the latest link it has given us, it has four adders. That means it has grabbed that information and understood the information that we have one more adult, and since we also have the simple memory, it was able to properly come up with the search result that we required. All right, I think that's it. See you guys soon in another video. Thank you.